Are you ready? It's time to get up. Now, you hear that a lot of times in your life, but not like this. We are in a sleep mode, kind of like a snooze button. And if you're here, especially for the first time, there's some curiosity that's brought you here. And I always say, when you're directed somewhere, means at some point you asked a question. And sometimes you get a little push. And you ever wonder why sometimes when you're really, really curious about something, that all of a sudden you're thrown into a situation that either reminds you of it or talks about it? So if you're new here, it's time to wake up. Now, of course, you may not know what that means, because obviously if you're watching this, you're up. But you're still asleep. Famous quote, "I once was blind, and now I see." So many take that literally. It's meant to be spiritually. In other words, what you thought you saw was just an illusion, and what you see now is the truth. You're not at that stage yet if this is your first time here. But I welcome you and want to let you know that there is such thing as that rabbit hole. And it's deeper than you can imagine. It's going to be scary at first, overwhelming, confusing. It's going to bring out a lot of emotions. But when you're at peace with it, it's like a 1,000-pound weight lifted off your shoulders. And you lose the anger, the constant trying to find who you are, your identity, your purpose, your past, and it starts to set in motion your preparation to be awake. And what does awake mean? Awake means that you see beyond what you've been told is real, and the things that you've heard throughout your lifetime. Now, you almost know that to be true, because if you're here and you're still watching this, that means at certain points in your life, you felt uneasy. Almost like what I like to call my spidey sense. Like, you could sense things. Things didn't seem right all the time. And I say this, trust your instincts. Because we're getting to a point where more and more people are awakening, and that doesn't happen by accident. I'm actually at the point now, I feel sorry for the people who refuse to want to wake up, because they'll always be angry, they'll always be bitter, they'll always be confused. Now, don't get me wrong, you will have anger, you will have days. Like earlier today, I had so many different things happening, I was overwhelmed. But it doesn't last. And you learn to cope with things, and you learn the bigger picture of things is, you know what, you can have a bad day and it's alright. So if you're ready to awaken, like the movie Matrix, once you're awake, you can't ever go back. And the question also asks, once you're awake, would you ever want to go back? Some say ignorance is bliss. I don't buy that for 1 second. Because if you're eating a food and it's poisoned, just because you don't know about it doesn't mean you won't die. Ignorance is not bliss. It's deadly. And I'm sure you've tried to talk to other people, even people awoken, and they see that defensive stance, or the person automatically say, I don't want to hear it, and they get angry. Do you ever wonder why people are that way? It's programming. Since we're kids, we get those shots we're programmed. Since when we go to school, we're programmed. When we watch TV, we're programmed. When we pick up a newspaper, we're programmed. It's all around us. Fluoride in the water, cloning of meats, secret societies that are becoming less and less secret, signs on your money, which, think about that. On a bill, like a dollar, it states, "In God we trust." And yet, if you research what's on the dollar, you will see several Masonic and Satanic symbols. Now think about that. If it's the God you think it is, shouldn't there be crosses and angels? Why would there be Satanic and Masonry symbols? Unless the God that they're referring to is not the one you think it is. There are symbols, there are signs. There's a lot of things out there that people have to start understanding is realer than you imagine. And when you close your eyes, metaphorically speaking, you deny yourself the truth that you feel inside. And I, as a massage therapist of 16 years, when you're doing massages, you're doing a lot of meditation, even if you didn't want to. And it opens your mind. And one thing I've noticed, even since I was a kid, we're different. People will make fun of us for that. People will be angry at us for that. But you know what? I like it. I like being different. It's being the black sheep of the herd. Now, when you were growing up, when you heard you're the black sheep of the family, what do you think of? You think of somebody different, somebody odd. That's not the case. They want you to think that way. But me, I see the black sheep as the individual. The one that doesn't do what he's told. The one that doesn't feel right doing what everybody else does. Doesn't wear things because people tell him that's cool. Doesn't act a certain way because that's appropriate. Do you ever wonder why you're so limited in what you can do? That you have to fit in to be a good person? It's because they want to control you. And it's working like a charm. Unless, like I said, if it's your first time here, you've decided that everything you've tried isn't working, and you're going to try a different way to go. Be prepared for a roller coaster. It's scary, it's dark, and it's exciting. But one thing about the dark, it takes only a little bit of light to light things up. So the darkness dissipates from light. It doesn't work the other way. You can't have a room filled with light and put a little bit of darkness. It won't affect it. So it shows the power of light, enlightenment, the sun radiating, causing light, the stars shining, their lights, your inner light, which also gives you inner peace. Some people will call you crazy. Some people will not understand you. There is a little bit of solidarity with this sometimes. There's always a price to pay for anything. So, if you've come this far, you've been placed here for a reason, because you were tired of not knowing the answers of why. And if you continue down this road and you take that red pill, you will find answers, ones that you can only imagine. give you a couple examples. America is not a country anymore. It went bankrupt in 1933. This is the United States Corporation. If you look up the definition, the legal definition of a person, they're considered individual corporate accounts. There is what they call the Holy Trinity. You have Washington, D.C. as the military might, London as the financial might, and the Vatican as the spiritual and religious right. They form a triangle. Look up symbols. Look at a triangle, 3 sides. What it symbolizes. A lot of things we've been told in our life are just not true. Civil War had nothing to do with slavery. It was a good excuse for it. It had to do with control of the countries. Like Rothschild said, give me control of a country's wealth, and I care not who makes its laws. You will find that every single president has family relatives to each other that go back to approximately 3 different monarchs. As a matter of fact, approximately 34 of our presidents are linked to one person, King Edward III. The other 2 are another monarch from France and one from England. The Masons start out with 3 levels, and then it branches off to 2 different sections. One of them has 33 levels. And you're not really told, which I can't say I believe, but you're not really told until the 30th level. Now the reason that there's 30 to 33 levels on one side is that if you believe in Jesus, which you should, he started his teachings at age 30. He died and was crucified at 33. So there's nothing higher than the 33rd level of the Masons, which is a satanic cult, by the way. And the funny part is, sun rises at 30 degrees and sets at 33 degrees. What do you call that big ball in the sky? You call it the sun. All-seeing eye. Know another name for Jupiter? Lucifer. A lot of this might be overwhelming, and you will understand it someday. The people that are in this and on this channel know a lot of things through awakening, and it's your time to be awoken. And there's many levels. Depends on how far you want to go. So what I say is, you go in with an open mind. Now, I don't say believe everything you hear, but give it a chance and research it and draw your own conclusions. People will mock you, may doubt you, may even desert you. But anybody that deserts you in your time of need is not a friend. So you're not losing anybody important. I welcome you to my channel. I hope you learn something. I hope you grow, and I really hope you participate. The red pill's ready to be given to you. Do you dare take it? See you on the other side.